I was on the floor. On the floor. I must have dropped it. Good morning, morning, good morning. So let's just record here, bringing you some cards and coffee. I know I'm running a little late today, but, I went to get up at 5. And, I don't know, I'm still tired. I wasn't ready to wake up, so I went and I laid back down for another hour with Rob. With everything going on right now with the car, he's been getting a ride, so instead of driving right now, I'm home, so I can make this a little bit later. I don't have to get up quite so early. I can actually drink a full cup of coffee before I hop on here. Going with the flow, y'all. Going with the flow. I don't know about y'all, but it's been crazy. Don't mind all my stuff on the thing behind me. My son actually had the audacity to take my pendulum down. Oh, I'm going to have to beat his ass. Oh, what did you do with Pinky? I don't even see it. Like, where would he have put it? See, man, this is why you can't have kids. Dude, I actually went out of my way not to have children. Like, I am a great aunt. I love my nieces and nephews. I was awesome when they were little. I was a surrogate mom part of the time. I did not want kids of my own. Why? Because I actually kind of like having stuff, and I like my stuff to be neat. And kids are not conducive to that kind of lifestyle. I mean, I'm nice enough to let him use my desk because he can't function if he sits within 6 feet of his sister. And I let him use my stuff, and then he touches my stuff, and I bet you money I come on here tomorrow morning, this thing is fucking broken somewhere. Every time. Can't let them kids touch anything. I'm surprised. And there's nothing. All my crystals and stuff I had to move off my desk. That was the only thing left up here that he could have possibly fucking touched. I'm mad. He lost Pinky, and I don't know where she is, and that just upsets me to no end. Because I did have that whole conversation about how certain atoms do not have consciousness until they are charged, and that damn thing, for sure, 100% is a charged item, and it's gone. Like, where could it go? You don't go anywhere. You sit right here. Why would you have even touched it to take it down? I don't know what it is with kids. What? Oh, I'm going to touch some shit. There we go. What'd I say? Fucking money. He broke the damn chain. What an asshole. And I don't know how to get through to him. I do not know how to get through to that kid. 12 years old. I've got no idea how to get through to him to stop breaking everybody's shit. Like, it's not bad enough he breaks all his own stuff. He's got no TV. He's got no PlayStation. Not because he's grounded. Lost his TV for throwing a golf ball in his bedroom. His PlayStation from beating the shit out of it. All his controllers are broken. Everything's broken. I don't know why he does it. I don't know how to get him to stop, because anytime you try to say anything to him about trying to be a little bit easier with your shit, he flies off the fucking handle. And I guess that's my fault. That's all the role models, and I guess my parenting that fucking created this monster that just destroys everybody's stuff and doesn't give two shits about anybody else. Or he could have picked that crap programming up from assholes who do things like I buy my kids iPad or tablets, and I send them over to his dad's house. And because it's not because of everybody's on the internet and there's extra kids on the internet. No, the tablets, I bought them. Not their dad. I bought them. Are POSs and blah, 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 blah. And then the kids come home thinking that their electronics are pieces of shit, and then they treat them like shit and break them. I'm sorry, guys. This is life for y'all. This is my life. I have no space to keep any of my precious items safe. I can't do spell kits because I have no place to organize and set them up anymore. I can't do anything. I'm literally being suffocated to death, if not by other grown-up assholes who think I should do everything for them and they don't have to do nothing. I have my kids, which are just fucking destroying everything. Baby girl's been pretty good. She actually did dishes and stuff yesterday without being asked and everything else. But my son, he has just been hateful as hell lately. Keeps skipping classes on school. I keep coming in here and catching him on YouTube instead of in class. And anytime I say anything to him during the day when he's on the computer, he flies off the fucking handle. And then at night when it's time, when they have time, they can go play Minecraft with their cousin. He picks fights with his sister and ruins that time. And I can't get it through to this kid that you manifest all this shit. You're always angry. You're always mad. You're always breaking all your stuff, talking shit to people, treating people like crap, being mean on video games, and then you don't understand why nobody wants to play with you. And that's a lesson that everybody needs to hear today. I'm sure out there somewhere, at some point in the scope of time, some narcissist will stumble across this video, and then maybe he'll feel bad for how much he caused people in his life to rig the fuck out when he was little because he was a narcissistic asshole. And I give my son a lot of sway. A lot of sway. Because he is on the spectrum. But this puberty shit, I told him, I was like, the day he wakes up and he's 18, I'm punching him in the face. And I've been saying that since before that comedian started saying that. Oh, man, I can't wait till you're 18. Wake up in the morning, punch him in the face. What was that? It was a felony yesterday. But there's all the times I should have beat your ass when you were little, and then maybe you wouldn't have broken all my shit and tore up my house so much. That was a conversation we had yesterday, too. I'm like, can we own up the fact that, the timeout generation that don't spank your kids, put them in timeout? Can we just own that whole project did not work? Didn't work. Didn't work. I can tell you now why. Because I have a 13-year-old man, and he's a fucking nightmare. My daughter barely listens, too. And what, you can't spank him, you can't do nothing like that. Put him in timeout. I don't know, that kid breaks another thing of mine. He's going to be waking up with a mattress on the floor. I keep telling him, everything else that I get them is a luxury. All those little extra tidbits, besides food, clothing, and shelter, I do not have to, by law, provide you nothing. You don't need game stations and everything else. I'm nice enough that I have that PlayStation in the living room for him. He just can't have one in his bedroom. And I tell him every year, I'm like, Santa Claus and I'm bring you would get more electronics and stuff like that if you didn't insist on breaking everything. Love him to death. He's so smart. I think that's probably the number one thing that pisses me off about that kid is he plays stupid. He's one of those kids who plays stupid to get out of shit. Like, he's super smart. He's super smart. And he thinks nobody knows. And I'm like looking at him like, he's got to know that I know he's smart enough for it. But he acts like he doesn't understand things, and he does that on purpose. He acts like he doesn't understand. He doesn't know who to talk to fix it, and he plays this, I don't know. I know nothing. I know nothing. I couldn't have possibly done anything wrong because I don't even know what I did. I don't know how to fix it, and I can't do that work because I don't know the link, and I can't get it to work, and da-da-da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, then ask your teachers. I don't know. I did not plan on being a mother, especially not a mother of a child with special needs. Especially one that, considering I have my own anxieties and stuff. You know, and I'll own, I wasn't great when he was little. I mean, I didn't beat him or nothing, but I have my own massive anxiety attacks. There was times where he would be screaming in the back seat of the car, and he'd be screaming for so long that I'd just start screaming in the front seat of the car. Usually about after a minute or two of me screaming in the front seat of the car, he stopped screaming in the back. Pop in, pop out. Probably for the best today that nobody else is really in here, because I was cool. So much for going with the flow, right? I'll be flowing here in a little bit. I got 15 minutes. I got to get baby girl up and get breakfast and everything rolling. And then I'm going to have to get on Billy and try to find out where the rest of my pendulum cord is. Luckily, he didn't break Pinky itself. Just the cord. I got jewelry shit. I could fix that. I'll make it a nice, pretty new band. That gets into the energy talk that I was having the other day, too, about inanimate objects not having consciousness. And I did a sipping and tripping last night, but I don't like it because I was coughing. I made a bunch of bone broth and everything else. I'm going to be doing a major detox this week and getting rid of this shit cough phlegm in my chest from these damn flowers. So I got 2 cups of coffee. Wash your hands, people. You should be doing that anyway. Friendly notice. I got bone broth and I got coffee over here. But that's what I was saying, my definition of consciousness on an inanimate object. It's just this. So initially when I got this, when this rose quartz was brought from the earth, all it had was its original crystal frequency, which does not have consciousness. Didn't have consciousness until somebody loved on it, put it into a pendulum, and then gave it to me. And then I have supercharged it just by using it so much and channeling my energy through it. So now for me, this does have a slight bit of consciousness, else how would it work? Maybe I'll do something on pendulums one day. But the problem is that's kind of a very boring live video to do, is pendulums. I'm going to sit here and wait for it to swing. No pressure on the pendulum. You know, you're just on camera. All right. Let's do it to it today. Got the 5 of Pentacles. We're worried about money. 10 of Cups. Even though I feeling a lot of connections are balancing out. A lot of people have removed a lot of toxic cycles, toxic people from their lives, and things in that area. So you're worried about money, but you are still you're still doing all right. You're still getting it done, and you're still happy in the connections that you do have remaining around you. You've been quick thinking and intellectual person. I like this card because he's actually walking away down the road. It gives me that whole, frankly, Scarlet, I don't give a damn vibe from this King of Wands. And it's about, it's about being clear thinking and intellectual in your decisions and seeing things for what they are. You can love a person to death, but if they have a toxic trait that's constantly triggering you, then, frankly, Scarlet, I don't give a damn. Well, I'm not playing this game with you anymore. I need a break. I'm going to take some time. And Scarlet handled that shit her own way. She went, what? I'll think about it tomorrow. 9 of Swords reversed. I see we are coming out of a mental prison. You're coming out of that mental prison. Why? 8 of Cups. Because you have made the decision to move on. You've made a decision. It is amazing how quickly you will become unblocked in certain areas as soon as you make a decision. You know, and if the decision is to walk away from a toxic connection, then you walk away from a toxic connection. Cord cutting is completely up to you, but sometimes everybody just needs a little bit of space from the person who causes nothing but conflict in their life. It's not always easy. Sometimes you have to do that while still living in the house with the person. Distance, time, and space are irrelevant. How much energy you give in and feed into it is up to you. You don't have to cold shoulder, but you can just keep conversations curt, point to the point, and, as polite as possible, and then just move on with your day. Don't give them any room to wheeze in there and cause a triggering effect for you. Get the Nine of Wands reversed. So it's a little bit hard to see where you're going to go now that you're doing it. It has been a lot of changes going on, and we've been having to balance. Queen of Swords, like I said, we're still, she's quick thinking and perceptive and overseeing the situation for what it is. Now, she has put herself up on this cloud to oversee the situations that she could clearly think it through, because there is a truce that needs to be made, and you cannot make that truce until you balance the energy within yourself. There's no way you're going to balance the energy in a toxic connection, or I don't want to say toxic, because sometimes, we go through these phases where everybody's changing and you're supposed to be learning to adapt with these people. So this is about taking time to recuperate, wrap your mind around what it is that you're trying to do. Wrap your mind around things like, when I breach this subject with these people, once I do that, it's going to cause conflict, and what are they going to say and how they're going to react, and you're smart enough to know and recognize patterns at this point. If you're not, get on it. You go to my other channel, go to 13 Moons, 13 Runes, do yourself a year. I'm telling you, give yourselves a year dedicated to some kind of practice and rotate it. Like I've done yoga. I always do the full moon thing, but the 13 Moons, 13 Runes was the very specific series that I made that I'm going to be relaunching in 2021. But, yeah, it's like a year and a day thing. It's really putting in the effort and dedicating every full moon to self-growth and learning how to balance your own energies. You cannot call a truce if you're still having the vindictive revenge thoughts in the back of your mind. Give it a little bit of time, too. So this is still calling you to lay back and recuperate for a minute. You can't really see the decision you're supposed to make because there is still something yet to be revealed about the entire situation before you can make any big moves on it. All right? And the Knight of Cups. Someone's wanting to come in with love. They want to reveal those secrets, but I don't want to look at it. But to tell you that secret, now this is reversed. So this way, he's not looking at the cup in the sky. This way, he is totally looking at the cup in the sky. This is the plan. They do want to come in with love. They do want to come in with a secret to tell you. They are trying not to be so damn picky with the universe. I love this. There's a meme for this card. And on the top it says, that's not what I asked for. I asked for the Hello Kitty latte with the kitty ears drawn on it. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He's looking at these 3 cups that are not what he wants. And he won't even look at this cup. What? That looks just like these 3 cups. I don't want that kind of cup. I want a different cup. This is finally accepting the fact that the universe is offering you, but this is your cup, man. Jesus drank out of a wooden cup, not a golden one. You really wanted the enlightenment path. This is your cup. Victory! Boom! Acceptance, coming into the sun, a new phase, a new end of one cycle, beginning of another. I love the sun card. A lot of people put different spins on it. Let's see, what's the traditional? This is warmth and vitality. But yeah, this is re-entering an area where you, where your blocks are released. Like I said, in the one decision of moving on from toxic connections, right? In one spread, it says move on from the toxic connections. You're making a decision to move on from toxic connections. And as soon as we get past all that, it's boom, boom, boom. Getting over that victory. Back into the sun. All right. This is an awesome reading for today, despite all the bitching I did while we were doing it. Still got the Hangman, but now he is upright. So this is, and how I've said this before, you look like he had a little joint in his mouth, but it was just schmutz on my card. It was a piece of ash. The Hangman is an interesting card for me because it really does represent a type of sacrifice. And I was talking about this in the Sippin' and Trippin' that I'm not going to be posting. Sitting still when you can see everything you could be doing has to be one of the hardest sacrifices you can do. It's just sitting still for no other reason than the universe told you to sit still. And it doesn't tell you why. It just does this fun little thing of whenever you start to get some momentum going, it'll find some outside way of shutting it down, or some way of distracting you, or some way of whatever. It'll find a way to make it like you're drudging through quicksand until you finally sit still for a minute. And then with quicksand, you realize the less you move, the less you sink. The more you flail around, the faster you sink. So that's the message I'm getting with this. If you're in quicksand right now, remember, the more you flail, the faster you sink. Sit still for a minute. Look around you. What is available around you? Are there any ropes? Is there any roots? Is there a tree branch? Look around you. Stop. Look around you for help and stop flailing by yourself. Wow, that's a heavy message that I just got in. I got the triumph of lies. A lot of us have hit the point in our life where we have realized that a lot of our belief systems, a lot of our programs, a lot of stuff like that have all been lies to program us. It's all been lies to program us. And we are learning to seize into our own power and overcome these lies. How have we been seizing into our power? We've been invoking it our damn selves. Told you about that 13 moons, 13 runes. We have gone through the trouble on full moons, on Sabbats, on, hey, some of us are daily routines, sometimes just lighting a candle in the morning, saying some affirmations in the mirror, blowing it out and going to work could be some of the strongest invocations that you can do. You know how to be spiritual. And even in all the books and things like that I have read, and even with the spiritual people who do like hypnosis and things like that, there is very powerful meanings in setting up certain things in certain ways, books, candles, whatever. There is a power in designing, setting up an altar, and invoking your higher self to help you. There is so much power in it. I get into it with Rob sometimes about tools and things like that. You don't need tools all the time. No, you don't. But it helps. All right, what are we moving into? Prosperity. A prosperous business with riches and success. Keep working on those ideas. Keep ironing out the kinks, guys. The world can't stay locked down forever. I promise you it can't. Air. Work with the element of air to cut through the core of the situation and see the truth. Triumph over the lies. Not triumph of lies. Triumph over those lies. Use the power of air. You'd be so surprised how much is just right here. How much information is right here for you. And all you have to do is stop for a second, clear your mind, breathe, and just allow it to come to you, guys. It's hard for me to explain in terms. It really is. Like, people always want me to teach classes and explain how I get the information that I get and how I do some of the things that I do and channel some of the information that I do for you guys in my readings. It's just that's as easy as it is for some people. What? I ask, I tune in, I reach, it's right here. They're right here. All the answers. It's right here in the air. Thoughts and words, baby, cast so much. And everybody's casting into the air right here. Everybody's right here. And everything is right here. This is the bridge between 3D, 4D, and the rest. They're all able to move around in this space. All you have to do is invoke them. Be humble when you do things like that. Be humble. Mystic Star, harmony in the home and great friendship. as always, this should be the end goal from everybody. It shouldn't just be about kicking people out of your house. It shouldn't just be about running away and buying a mansion. It shouldn't just be about all that. It should be you're looking for peace in your home. You're looking for harmony in your home, and you're looking for great friendships within your home. Now, certain toxic people do need to go. Some toxic connections can be healed with a little bit of time, patience, and love. But it really depends on how much work you want to put into anything. I mean, you can't have any great friendships or relationships if you put absolutely no work into friendships and relationships, and then any time someone gives you the slightest hard time, you run a million miles away. All right? Okay. It is 7:14, which is one of my fun numbers. Blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. I love y'all. I hope you guys appreciate this message. I do apologize for my rant this morning. Yeah, I'm not a fan when my things get broken. People touch things they're not supposed to, that they know they're not supposed to be touching. But in the end, my fault. I should have wrapped her up and put her up there while he's working over here. I don't know. My weird magical delusions thought that maybe, just maybe, Pinky might have helped out a bit. But, you can only help people who want to be helped. Oh, that's not it. In the case of my son, he doesn't want nobody to help him with his school stuff. Why? Because he has the great excuse of being at home and telling his teachers things didn't work out, so he's got an excuse. And you know what? I've already warned him once, and this is how I deal with my kids. I warned him. I was like, at the end of the year, where's the case for that? At the end of the year, when it comes time to graduate from this grade, if you haven't got your work done because you were dicking around too much, you're going to have to repeat the grade. Isn't that how it works, right? If you don't learn your lessons on a cycle, guess what you get to do? Repeat that cycle. Works the same way. It's one of the messed up programmings from school that actually still plays out in the world, regardless of where you are. You don't learn the lessons in your cycle one year, you get to repeat that year pretty much. Just fun with a little bit extra flair from the universe to make sure that it really drives those messages home for you. All right. I still can't find that box. I'll have to find it off camera. I love y'all. Blessed be all those who walk this path with me. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, like, share, subscribe, spank my bell. And, I'm going to try and do some, the 2-sign thing instead of a conversation. Maybe I'll do a past life reading later if I got some energy. And I'll post that on my other channel. I love you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow.